Oh, so welcome back. Long time no see. How are you doing? How the heck are you doing? I'm going to start by telling you why I was inspired to open this channel back up because I had actually made the decision to be done with it, to let it. I thought that I was done with this channel. Okay. I have started an English channel, like teaching English skills for students who are learning English, adult students, because adults are my preference. And uh, YouTube has a lot of rules about starting a channel, and I felt concerned that I might lose access and I might need a backup channel. So I realized some of the things that I'm trying to talk about on that channel to adults for whom English is a second language. So like getting into some of these complex ideas are things that I really enjoy talking about on this channel. So the channel is going to be an experiment again, which is how I do a lot of things in my life. I don't know what's going to work. I don't know what's going to last. I do know that people need to have conversations, people need to have connection, people need to have community. And I feel sturdy enough in myself these days to be able to offer some part of that to the wider world. So, that in a nutshell is what brings me back. Um, if you are an English as a second or third or fourth or fifth language, some of you are amazing with your language acquisition skills. You are absolutely 1000% welcome here. And if you are someone for whom English is a first language and you would like to check out the other channel to see how we talk about having conversation and how we use words, that channel is building, and it is for now geared towards people who are learning the skill, but you're welcome over there as well, because the goal there is to help people develop confidence with their communication, which in my mind and my experience is really about self-expression and being able to hear other people and then developing relationships. So it's been a wild ride, and I know some of you tuning in, I don't know how, but you may not have been disrupted by anything over the past 6 years. Amazing. Please tell us what you're doing and help us. Well, maybe. What I was going to say is give us your tips, but I know for myself that so much of what I've experienced over the past chunk of years has developed some skills and definitely perspective, 5 kajillion% perspective that I would not have had I not gone through the experiences that I've had. So I think we'll talk about things like this for a while on the channel. Please, please join us in the comments. This is, life is no longer a spectator sport, y'all. And you don't have to be caught up in, I'm going to call them the narratives that are going on out there. You don't have to be marinating in the headlines, but in your own families and friendships and communities and workplaces, we need to hear from each other for a variety of reasons. One of the reasons is it's really helpful to know that we're not the only ones suffering and struggling through something. It's also really beautiful to know that we're not the only ones having successes and victories and experiencing peace. So share your stories in the spaces where you feel welcome to share them, because that's something else that I'm noticing with a lot of people. It is not necessary to put ourselves out there for everyone to have access to, and that's also very truthful. So be selective and be discerning. Discernment is one of my anchor words right now. And that is also something that I spend more and more time talking about. And right now, I can't offer a definition of it because I really came in here to make a welcome back video. And my thoughts are not organized enough to give good language around what these words mean. But you can search them out for yourself and decide if you want to take them up as a guide stone or not. Discernment, integrity, our values, like leading and making choices from what we value. I'm currently looking out at this absolutely beautiful scene of the mountains and the sea and a tree line. So I'm with you, but I'm also like my visual senses are being fed right now, and I am feasting. So yeah, I on the other channel, it's pretty easy for me to come up with regular episodes to share. I work with adults one-on-one on their English skill development. And so a lot of what I do is I take the conversations, the questions, and the challenges that come up, and I talk about them and give suggestions for how to meet these challenges to a wider audience. So that channel is easy in terms of what to talk about, at least for now. This channel, one of the reasons why I stepped away, first of all, my life was falling apart. Like it was falling apart. And I know there are those out there who, you know what I'm talking about because it happened in your own lives. And I did not feel like I had anything to give or to offer. My sense of perspective was disappearing and dissolving and being ruptured. And my understanding of how to proceed, how to participate in life, what my own gifts and my own like contributions were, all of these things were like falling apart and being questioned and sometimes being snatched away and just all sorts of things. It was it was a rough and tumble few years. And by few, I think this really started for me in 2017. And then it really got going in 2021. And then 2023, I started feeling the bruises and the broken bones, like in what I had once thought of as my life. And I don't have anything figured out now. Like, I don't. And the way that I live my life would be very confusing to a lot of people. But I think one of the things that I have come to understand from my experience, and I offer this to those of you who might continue to be in a place of uncertainty and instability. We are So I believe the entire world of planet Earth is undergoing some transformation. I was going to say rapid transformation, but I think it's probably on a few different levels. So slow transformation, rapid transformation, like it's all happening all at once. I hesitate because I do speak with people from all over the world. And in some areas, other people's governments and economies are in upheaval. And in other areas, they've been this way for decades, for the life of the person that I'm speaking with. Like some people are used to this in their countries. So that also helps me with perspective. I can feel like in my own country, things are going batshit crazy, whatever that means. Like, what does that actually mean? Where did we get that from? And then I'll speak with someone whose economy has been in the tank for decades. I can think of 2 countries where people help me with that perspective. And maybe I'll mention them some other time, but not today. So, what I'm saying there is it's both and. Yes, we are in upheaval, and there are people and communities and countries on this planet who have like the upheaval that feels disruptive to us is like normalcy for other people. And so they are just going about their lives. They are going out and dancing, they're going to work, they're raising their families, they're socializing, they're just living their lives, which is really helpful in bringing me back to some sort of center if I start getting too knocked off balance by some story that comes across my newsfeed. Yeah. So, one of the things that I'd like to contribute to the conversations that are happening out there is if you are in a place that does not feel familiar to where you're used to having had been in your life, if you are waiting, maybe this is really what I'm wanting to share. If you are waiting for stability, for normalcy, for clear signals that something's going to work out for you, it may not come. It might come. It really helps to have a very strong prayer practice and an even stronger listening practice. You know, when Spirit speaks, being able to hear the guidance. But from where I'm sitting and from the conversations I've been having with people all over this planet, humanity does not know what's happening. Even the folks who might be in control of the narratives. There's so much that's not controllable, and there's so much about this time that is meant to be disruptive. And I believe that's so we can step into something that is perhaps more functional, but certainly something that's new. Like we have outworn our welcome in the previous cycle of the human story. It's time to move on into something new. But I would say there aren't any of us, and maybe there aren't many of us who know what that new story is. So learning how to become really stable and solid within yourself so that you're able to engage with the external environment in ways that don't bring you to your knees and also throw you into uselessness in your own life and in the lives of those people who are counting on you. Pardon me. These are the kinds of skills that we really need to develop if we haven't already developed them. Inner stability, the capacity to use our discernment and act accordingly, the clarity of our value system, our personal value system. And for many of us, that is changing because of what's been happening in our lives and in the lives of people around us. So be open to your values having changed. Spend some time getting clear about what your value set is now and act accordingly. I don't know if I don't know what the schedule or regularity of these conversations will be. I have no idea. I'm still not sure what my contribution is in this setting and environment, which has been really difficult actually, because I came from a couple of decades of being very clear about what my purpose was and my contribution. And I kept building on that. But that person is still here, but she's been through some stuff. And I don't think that part of me is leading, at least at this time. And it's possible not anymore. So what I'm saying is I am also learning. I'm learning who I am and what I've developed and even what I've been through over the years. I am just inspired to I like the word archive these days. Make an archive of it, make a record of it, maybe just so that I can understand and see what's happening here. And hopefully something will be useful to you. But I'm not going to come in with bullet points and like it's going to be a conversation. And at least in today's conversation, it's definitely exploratory. So I've probably said this before in videos on this channel. If you need linear, that's not how I function these days. And I am inviting you to experiment with more spontaneity and more flexibility in your own thinking and in your own relating with the world where it's appropriate. So I'm going to sign off. It's interesting to be back here. I do have a lot of fun on the other channel, but as I said, I'm clear about what my mission is there. This channel, we might be just working it out and hanging out for a while. So if you join me, fantastic. And if it's just too rambly, I get it. Thanks so much. And on to the next. Okay, enjoy. I won't tell you what day it is so it doesn't date it, but I'll see you around again. Ciao.